New Japan Pro Wrestling New Beginning Nagoya show just took place this morning. Oh my, what a show we had that took place, man. We had 5 matches, all each meaning more, each meaning something in their own individual right. Of course, it's your boy Blency and Naito. I'm here with a good brother, my man LK, man. This is like a double dip. We got together on the preview of the show, and I feel okay. It's only right for us to get together on the review. I think it's only right.
Damn right. If every time I come on, we seem to get bangers, so I think I have to come on for every single show, including Road 2. So it's going to be an interesting one. But this was fucking magnificent, and a bit of deja vu, as this is the second time I'm fucking recording. The internet and fucking audio issues are not our fucking forte. But yeah, fucking absolutely great. Really enjoyed this show. Win-loss tie, it's got to be a win. 100% win.
This is an absolute win right here, and this pandemic era of New Japan Pro Wrestling, as far as their shows have went, I've extremely enjoyed these shows and stuff. Not even as far as the wrestling quality. Of course, I love the wrestling quality, but I'm just talking about the length of these shows. We're not really dealing with 3-hour shows anymore, 3.5 hour. These shows are usually under 3 hours, and I just think kind of that the era we're in, and especially now how we're kind of conditioned to be, I think that that's kind of the best way you should do it. And if you have a show that's going to be maybe longer than 3 hours in this era, it's probably best suited to break those down into 2 shows. And I kind of think that's what we got here with the Nagoya show, and then following up the end of the tour here in Hiroshima. So I think we got a little bit of both of that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is as well, because there's so much fucking content out there, dude, so much content, that with them shows now being 2.5 hours long, it kind of motivates you to watch more rather than, the show's, 3.5 hours, and, Road 2 shows are 3 hours, whereas now the Road 2 shows, sometimes they're under 2 hours, especially at Korakuen Hall now, because of the pandemic. So that's a fucking win. It kind of encourages you to watch it a bit more because you're not going to worry about getting burnt out.
Exactly. And me, normally, because what I've resorted to is normally if it's normally like it's a Road 2 show, not a show like this one this morning, which I got up for. If there's a show kind of like a Road 2, maybe it's the 3rd or 4th night, I'm probably not going to get up for it, immediately that early in the morning. I'll probably watch it throughout my day. And when I'm watching it throughout my day, I'll probably cut the entrances out. Definitely cut out the entrances, cut out whatever little post-match stuff. And if you do that for the most part, and if you include the 15-minute intermission they have for cleaning the ring, that's like a good chunk of time that you're not even having to, sit through. You can kind of condense these shows, especially if you're not watching them live. You can condense them pretty short if you just keep it to, all right, the match starts. You can kind of maybe look at some stuff when the match ends. But if you kind of just, I'm not even worried about the entrances, you can kind of move through these shows pretty fast.
Yeah, especially on the Road 2 shows. You could smash a Road 2 show in about an hour and 15, hour 30 minute maximum. Yeah. Hour 30 maximum.
And I'm glad you brought up the Road 2 shows, LK, because the first match we have here on this show, it seems like this is a match that we've had on one of the Road 2 shows, and it's actually opening up this card right here. So the match that I'm talking about, the match that I speak of, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the team of Kazuchika Okada and Toru Yano taking on the team of Evil and Yujiro Takahashi, of course, representing the Bullet Club right here. This is what you would expect from an opening New Japan match, tag team quality. It was solid. We got some nice fun spots from Yano here. Yano actually used Yujiro's pimp cane at one point, so I thought that was pretty cool. And he's actually able to get the win over Yujiro Takahashi. I believe it was with a schoolboy. I think the time was a little under 8 minutes, so he got the victory with a schoolboy right here. It wasn't, like I said, this is not going to be your be-all, end-all, this blow-away opener, this on some Owen Hart, Bret Hart stuff from WrestleMania 10, but it was a fun tag team match, and it's kind of leading to when are we going to get Okada and when are we going to get Evil? Because it's going to happen at some point. It's all a matter of when.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you watch with English commentary?
I did.
Yeah, because that's what Kevin Kelly was talking about at the start. Basically, Okada wants Evil, and Evil's like, well, you don't deserve me. Which is kind of, it's like, makes sense, kind of chicken shit hill. But, the matches are announced for the February 10th and 11th of New Beginning, and there's no Okada Evil, so presumably that's going to take place at Castle Attack, potentially.
That's what I'm thinking. It's what I'm thinking, and we do have the New Japan Cup right after Castle Attack, too, so I don't foresee them holding this feud off till that far, but I would look for Castle Attack to have something happen right then, and I don't know, if you want to put us, since New Japan's been kind of heavy on stipulations as we get from the show right here, if you want to throw a stipulation on it, I wouldn't be too mad at that. Whatever that stipulation is, It's for them to decide. We'll find out. But if they want to throw a stipulation on it, I wouldn't be too upset. We'll kind of give a match a little bit more oomph, a little bit more flair. But if we don't get a stipulation, I'm fine with that too. So
I think some matches do. Like, for example, the Great Khan versus Tenzon. When that was announced, I was kind of like, you know what? Okan and Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom is all right, but it kind of didn't really motivate me and pump me to watch the show. I was kind of like, yeah, this is gonna be it'll be all right. I'll sit through it. But adding the usage of the Mongolian chop into the mix really added an element to the match that made me care about who wins and loses. So just doing little things like that, and I know it's kind of Western way of doing things, but at the end of the day, it's 2021, and you want a global expansion. It's what you got to do.
exactly. And like you said, global expansion, we're in 2021. You sometimes maybe have to add match stipulations. So it'll be interesting to see if either Evil versus Kazuchika Okada, I swear I can speak English. Well, if that would have a stipulation, I don't think it will, but I mean, weirder things have happened in pro wrestling. Okay, so it could have a stipulation, but I guess this is kind of only time will tell, you know?
Yeah, and don't get your hopes up.
Right? Do not get your hopes up on that stipulation, and don't try to come in up saying, "Oh, you guys said there's going to be a stipulation." It's like we really didn't. We said it could be, but next match we had is an 8-man tag right here. We had the team of Master Wato, Sho, Tamaki Homa, and Kota Ibushi, the double champion Kota Ibushi, taking on the Los Ingobernables de Japón team of Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, Tetsuya Naito, and Sonata right here. So we know what this match is for. At the end of this tour, rounding off the tour, actually main eventing the main eventing the 10th and the 11th of February, which would be Ibushi and Sonata. And I think rounding out the tour main event in the show is going to be Hiromu Takahashi following up with Sho. I might have got those reversed. I think those is what Kevin Kelly said, but I could be wrong, but I probably got them reversed. Whatever, it don't matter. But this match was what you get from LIJ. Nice quality 8-man, multi-man tag team match. They hit their spots. Their synchronicity is just off the charts as it always is. And we get Bushi, unfortunately, to my dismay, eating a shock arrow here in about 11 minutes and 32 seconds. Getting Sho to victory. It's probably something he needed for that title match he's going to have with Hiromu Takahashi coming up. And Sonata and Ibushi have a very interesting feud because they're one of the few feuds I've seen in New Japan where not even once has these guys post-match attacked each other. So it's pretty interesting. They're kind of just talking like, hey, we're going to wrestle. It's going to be cool type stuff. Like, so I think that's interesting. Sho gets the win. Nice, solid 8-man tag team match. And we're moving on. LK, what you think?
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. With the talent involved, it was never going to be bad. I felt bad for your boy Naito. He's kind of a bit lost at the minute, isn't he? What's he fucking doing? He's doing absolutely nothing. Sitting on the bench. He's a little bench warmer.
Right, yeah. What's so crazy, I'm trying to remember, it was the other day when they had, I think, the elimination match, like Naito was like the third person like out and they start walking out to, I think, like it was Hiromu Takahashi's music, and it was weird to see like Naito to be walking out to Takahashi's music. Like, damn, it's hasn't happened really before. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I enjoy it though. I enjoy it. It gives kind of other people a chance to kind of shine in the spotlight. But yeah, I'm looking forward to these matches. The LIJ matches are just getting me fucking really excited for Sho versus Hiromu. Like, absolutely very excited. And I don't, as a rule, because it's early in the UK time and I'm not normally awake, I don't normally wake up to watch the shows live. I always watch them post live. I'm generally going to get up for the 10th because I really want to watch Hiromu and Sho spoiler free, 1,000%.
No, that's a match you have to watch spoiler free because it's going to be their second meeting, their first meeting for the title. And really, kind of at this point, it's up in the air. Anything could happen. I didn't think Hiromu was going to walk out of the Tokyo Dome with the belt. So, shit, a Sho due for a junior heavyweight title reign. I mean, this kind of would be the time to put the belt on him until, Yo's able to come back, I would think. But, we shall see. So,
but it's fresh. It's fresh. That's what's important. It's fresh. It's different. We're not getting the same repetitive match that we've seen over and over again. It's something different, which I'm a big fan of. And giving a chance for a guy like Sho, whose tag partner's out, to kind of get doing something, get paid, and fucking show what he can do.
Absolutely, man. LK, now we have the rest of the matches on the show, LK, are singles matches here. This is the first match. Two of them have stipulations on them. First one is we have Hiroshi Tenzan taking on a Great Khan, and a loser of this match would be forbidden from ever using the Mongolian chop again. We spoke in the preview of the history of the Mongolian chop with Hiroshi Tenzan and how long he's been doing the move, and it's pretty much a staple of his move repertoire, if not just him, the move is a staple of him himself. So him, potentially losing that move is just like, oh my god, that's. You just think about the wrestlers in history. This, if you take away like one of their signature moves, if you're like, hey Undertaker, you can't really do the choke slam anymore, or you can't do let's see, John Cena, no more five knuckle shuffle, or I'm just trying to think of like just moves that aren't really signature moves, but moves that they're known for.
It's like telling Undertaker he can't punch anymore. It's
Yeah, you can't punch anymore,
that's what he's
Undertaker.
known for, isn't it? It's kind of, and the same as Austin, he's not allowed to punch or kick anymore in the corners and stuff like that. It's a big move that we've seen him hit. If you've been watching New Japan for years, you've seen Tenzon every single night hit Mongolian chops and the crowd react to it. Now he can never do it again, and
It's
a
like,
great stipulation as long as they fucking stick with it.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Not even about the match because I thought the match was decent for what it was. For some people, it might have been slow. I can understand them think this match is slow because these guys are more bruiser guys, are not going to be in there flying around, bumping around. Which sometimes I think you need matches like that. These guys were hitting each other hard. Tenzan actually hit Great O'Khan with that calf branding off the second rope. I thought that was nasty. I was like, ooh, that was pretty fucking stiff. I like
Tenzon
that right
pulling
here.
out the moonsault as well. Tenzon pulling out the moonsault.
Dude, Tenzan pulling out the moonsault, man. The fact that he can still do a moonsault at his accelerated, not even accelerated age, but Tenzan's probably high upper 40s, but he's been wrestling hard for so long. He's almost like a 60-year-old in there. So
Yeah,
the
body
fact
of
that
a
he can do,
60-year-old. Yeah, body of a 60-year-old. Bless his cottons. But yeah, it was great, and we've always said that we wish Tenkoji actually get more of a showcase. It's fucking annoying that they're never involved in the tag title picture. So at least now so they both got some one-on-one matches. They were good. So hopefully, the booker, whoever it is, I think it's still Jado, isn't it? Hopefully
yeah,
if he watches the show, well, obviously he will be, and goes, you know what, crowd reacted to that. These boys still got a bit more run. I'd love to see a Kojima versus Tanahashi for the never open weight belt. Sign me up.
absolutely. I love this. Like we said, I love to see Kojima and Tenzan get in there and at least attempt to challenge for the tag team titles. They don't have to win them. Just let them be in the mix, man. That's all we're asking. Is let them be in the mix. So Hokan, he's able to get the victory here over Tenzan. He actually beats him with the Dominator. Yeah, and Tenzan's not going to be able to use the Mongolian chop from now on. It was about a little under 13 minutes right here. And like I said, just some stiff stuff going on in this match, man. And I liked it. I like what they're doing with Okan. He's actually one of my like favorite newer acts in New Japan right here. So hey, he's off to the races. And Tenzan, man, he's not going to be able to do the Mongolian chop anymore. And now I wonder, like, is he going to forget to do it in a, not that he can't do it in a match one day? Because you know how it is when you're just so used to just doing something. It's like a habit. Like, is he just going to
Yeah,
forget?
just
Not,
yeah, absolutely. Surely it's gonna. I wonder what's gonna happen if he does. I wonder if it. I'd love it if, maybe in a match, maybe in a big title match, he teases it, the ref bumps, and then he does it. That could be, and then the
ooh,
crowd absolutely pop. That could be absolutely magical.
ooh, like I would love that. Or reverse in a title match or a kind of a big match, like maybe in a never open weight 6-man tag team title match. He does it and he gets his team disqualified, because he just can't do it. Like
Yeah, or if it's like an elimination. So like if it's like an elimination 10-man tag, and he does the Mongolian chop, and then gets just eliminated. That'd be hilarious. That'd be amazing.
that's the way until I see otherwise. Okay, that's the way I'm seeing them book this. Is if he uses that in a match, connotation, then he's probably going to get he or his team disqualified. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Or maybe they'll just go for a blow and just fire Tenzan if he uses it again. Who
Just
knows?
fired, just canned. Sorry for your 15 years or however long you've been in New Japan. I apologise, but you are fired for using the Mongolian chop. Yeah. It just is when the crowd can go back to making noise again, which Touchwood will be soon. Not just clapping. The heat that, as we touched upon on the preview yesterday, the absolute heat that Okan is going to get just for doing a Mongolian chop, making that noise. He can get heat for the next several years just from doing that. Same as Brock when he beat Taker, kind of you rub that in and use it for years. But Khan, this is a great opportunity, and yeah, they haven't given him a belt or anything, and we'll touch upon that later in the show. But it's a big opportunity for him to be able to use this and just get loads and loads and loads of heat, get hated, and then get fucking booked up the card, and off we go.
Off the yard to the races, man. That Wrestle Kingdom lost to Hiroshi Tanahashi's looking like a distant memory at this point, and we'll talk about that here later as well. So one of his stablemates actually is next. Okay, he's taking on a legend over here in New Japan Pro Wrestling, not just New Japan Pro Wrestling. I would say all of pro wrestling. This man is Satoshi Kojima right here, and this match actually, like I said, had the stipulation itself. It's no DQ stipulation on the English commentary, and shout out to the English commentary because I don't know, I might be in a minority here, and I got to say this too. Okay, I actually enjoyed El Phantasmo on English commentary.
Oh, dude, I tell you what, when I turn the show on and Kevin Kelly's like, I'm joined by El Phantasmo, and he's like, how you doing, you fat marks? I was like, oh my god, no, this is not, because I haven't heard any of the English commentary with Phantasmo 1. I've heard bits, but I haven't, fully concentrated, sat down and watched it to do a show on it. So I'm actually like properly paying attention, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be terrible. And by the end of it, I was loving it. I actually fucking loved it. He was such a dick. Like, he'd do little things like Ospreay would like go, oh, Ospreay, what's my name? And then ELB would just be like, they can't talk, idiot. Like, just so casually, so quietly, as if like he didn't want anyone to hear. He was fucking absolutely magic. He was amazing.
Dude, he was really good, and I, like you said, once it started, I thought he would maybe play the strong like heel kind of commentator role, which he did at points, but for the most part, he kept it straight laced, and there was even parts to where he was almost even playing more of a face role, and he was like, I don't want to see that. It was, you know what I mean? Like, this is like bullshit. Like, I'm like, damn, is he he's showing that he could be potentially a babyface if he wanted to? Like, I don't know.
I thought he was a major heel, but he kind of called the action as well. When there was kind of no Bullet Club in there, like especially in the main event, I think he kind of really dug the main event, so he was really into it. But
that's fair. He was a heel, but he was like, when it was non-Bullet Club, he was calling it right down the middle. That's fair.
Yeah, but it was like he bullied the fuck out of Ospreay. Like, but it wasn't mean. It was like funny. You just call him like idiot, just like really quietly, just like on the mic. I was watching with headphones. If you didn't have headphones on, you probably wouldn't have heard it. But he just kept fucking ripping the shit out of him. It was absolutely hysterical. But yeah, speaking of Ospreay Kojima, absolute banger.
That's right here. This was incredible.
Absolutely, and you got to give credit to Kojima. Like some of the bumps he took for a lovely gentleman of his age, and his experience level, to be able to go out there and not really been doing many of these matches in his career, if any, in New Japan, and taking table bumps, and I mean a fucking table bump. He got darted into the fucking table in the buckle, and this isn't no fucking E-table that breaks if you fucking lie on it. This is a Japanese table, which is hard as fuck. That was probably my favourite hardcore spot of the year so far, if you have to have like a hardcore thing, because it was fucking great. But even like the story they told, not just the actual action, was just brilliant. You actually felt like these two wanted to fucking beat the shit out of each other, which is just absolutely magical. It was, if any other show, if that was the main event, you'd be like, you know what, I end the show happy. But to be able to top that with the main event was just absolutely brilliant.
This match was incredible. We get Will Ospreay winning in about 16 minutes and 57 seconds with the Stormbreaker. And there were even spots where you maybe even thought Kojima might even pull it off. So they did their job, and they did it damn well in this match. I enjoyed this match a lot. I was like, dude, at this point, I was like, easily a match of the show to this point, and that was before we got the main event.
Yeah, and people who kind of like, oh, it's Kojima and the veterans in the opening matches and roll their eyes. This is the type of caliber of wrestler that Satoshi Kojima is. You know, we've been saying this for fucking years. He needs to have a fucking singles run, one last singles run. That was a fucking excellent match to be able to keep up, and he fucking kept up with a guy like Will Ospreay, who's as young as he is, as athletic as he is, and as quick and as athletic as he is. But to keep up with him for the whole thing was fucking magical. And even at the end, when he's been wrestling for 18 minutes, he's been put through tables. You know, he did that fucking elbow drop off the top onto the chair, which he didn't. He put the chair the wrong way around, which Hasbro fucking ripped the shit out of him for, which was really funny, because that probably really fucking hurt. He like literally caught his elbow right on the edge of the chair. It's absolutely sickening. But to be able to keep up with him is just a testament to just how fucking great and underappreciated of a wrestler Kojima is. And I fucking pray we get more one-on-one or at least tag team action with Kojima and Tenzon. Because they fucking earned it. These guys are fucking great. They've been busting their ass for however many years, and they kind of don't get anything anymore. You know, I'm fucking game for them to go after the tag belts. Fucking game for it. And especially with Tanahashi now with the never openweight belt, I'd love it. Imagine Kojima, Tanahashi, at say, fucking hell, Power Struggle Tour. Just a show like that, put it in the main event, give Kojima something to work for, something to keep him motivated, keep him pumped up, because that was fucking brilliant. That was honestly absolutely brilliant. Like you said, any other show, that'd be match of the night, because that was fucking phenomenal.
Absolutely, man. I think Satoshi Kojima and Hiroshi Tenzan were doing more not to prove to the fans, because I think the fans already knew that they had this in them. I think they did this to prove to like guys like Ghetto that, hey, man, we can still go, and you probably should utilize us. Not saying, hey, put the heavyweight belt on us and let us get all heavyweight belt runs, but maybe you should utilize these guys a little bit better if they can still go like that. Because, man, why not?
Dude, with matches like that, I wouldn't care if at the end of Kota Ibushi and Sonata, if Kojima came out at the end, if he had a good run for the rest of the tour, picked up some big wins, kind of says, I found a new, motivation, I proved that I can still go, and he comes out and challenges Ibushi after a match like that, no complaints from me. I'd be fully game for that. And I want to see Kojima in the New Japan Cup and have a good run as well while we're at it. Hopefully they do the big 32-man field again.
Hopefully they include junior heavyweights again. That's what I like that little wrinkle last year. I think that was cool, having the junior heavyweights and spoiling that Naito Hiromu Takahashi match that I wanted ever so much. But maybe we'll get it soon. Who knows? But speaking of title matches, we have the main event of the show for the Never Openweight Championship. We got the current champion himself, the Dragon, Shingo Takagi. I think he's attempting to make his second defense of the belt here, taking on the ace himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi, right here. So this was a masterclass in pro wrestling. This was amazing right here, dude. Like, I felt like every spot that they did mattered in this match. Every single one that they did. The limb work that Tanahashi was doing on Shingo Takagi, impressive. Tanahashi, of course, is being a master limb artist like he is. Man, this is good. It was more than good. This was pretty damn amazing right here. And we called it, okay? We actually called Hiroshi Tanahashi picking up the belt right here. And you know what? I was for it, because even though this would have been Shingo's second defense, I think in his 2 title reigns that he's had, he's done a lot of shit with that belt. He's been damn impressive with that Never Openweight Championship belt. So a loss to a guy like Hiroshi Tanahashi right here definitely wouldn't hurt him. It definitely didn't hurt him then. When he hit him with the high fly flow, I was like, oh shit, he beat him. I was like, holy shit. I was kind of shocked. I was like, okay, Tanahashi's getting a victory right here. So yeah, man. Okay, dude, this match is fucking incredible. What you think?
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. I got done dirty. Because like I said, I watched the match kind of throughout the day. And I got to the main event, and literally just before I was about to watch the main event, we were DMing on Twitter. It would have been about 9:30, 9 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock my time, so just before start of the show, because I literally finished the match and then messaged you, I can go now. But I literally got a spoiler on Twitter with it was literally a picture of Shingo putting the belt on Tanahashi. I was like, oh, come on, that's just done dirty, done absolutely dirty. So I kind of knew the result heading in, which is really annoying, and kind of a way of God telling me I need to start watching these fucking big shows live. But I was just like, it was one of those where I was up late last night, and it was kind of like, I'll just watch when I wake up, because that's the joy and beauty of New Japan World. You kind of can. But regardless of that, it was absolutely amazing match. Yeah, I got the spoiler of the main event, and I would have enjoyed it more if I'd not knowing Tanahashi was going to win heading in, but still, to be able to know what's going to happen. I was still invested in the near falls. Like when Shingo hit that Enter the Dragon, how fucking high up did that want to be? Like, Tanahashi got drilled on his neck, and I shouldn't laugh when I say it, but he got fucking drilled. I bet he's a sore boy right now, because that was fucking nasty. But these two beat the fuck out of each other. It was proper old school, great wrestling match. He went from kind of that hardcore, fast-paced action of Kojima to Ospreay versus a 35-plus minute banger with Tanahashi. And again, it's just another proof that Tanahashi can still go. Like, yeah, he didn't have a very, in my opinion, enjoyable match at Wrestle Kingdom. Not bad, just not great. But he kind of made up for it here and says, hey, put his name in the hat, say, hey, look, I can still fucking go. And this show, you had Tanahashi, Kojima, Tenzan, guys who, let's just say they're not in their prime physical condition years anymore, just because of age. It's just sod's law. It's just the way of the world. You get older, you get slower. You get hurt more. It's just the way of the world. But these guys can still fucking go. And I'm glad Tanahashi's got a title. When was the last time he was a fucking champion when he Kai? And don't tell me 6-man, because that does not count as a belt. Unless Yoshihashi has it.
Yeah, facts. He and Kota Ibushi they dropped the belts to the Dangerous.
Yeah, they were tag. You're right. Yeah, they were tag. That's right. But when was the last time he had a singles run?
Whew, I think the last singles belt he had was
it IC title a few years back?
Nah, dude, I want to say it was maybe the heavyweight before he dropped it to Jay White. No, hold on, wait, I take that back. It wasn't. He was the British heavyweight champion for Rev Pro for a little bit. But as far as New Japan, the last singles belt he had was the IWGP heavyweight once he took it off Kenny Omega.
Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom, wasn't it? And then he dropped it to Jay White at the New Beginning show, didn't he? Mental.
Yo, speaking of that no DQ match, the Kojima versus Ospreay, because it was a no DQ match. Kevin Kelly and El Phantasmo, they were like asking when's the last no DQ match in New Japan, and at first I was thinking about it, and they didn't know what it was, but I was like, dude, I remember when the last no DQ match was. It was that same Wrestle Kingdom card where Omega lost to Tanahashi. It was the Jericho Naito match was the last no DQ match they had in New Japan. So I was like, I remember that. That was the last one they had. So just a little history.
Yeah, it was kind of their commentary was fucking great. Their chemistry wasn't on point yet, but I think that's going to develop over time. And I really fucking hope that they, because again, I enjoy Rocky Romero on commentary. I think he does a good job. But this was kind of like really fresh, really new, really different. And I really fucking loved it. I think a heel, because Kevin Kelly's such a babyface commentator. Like at the end of Wrestle Kingdom, when he's there shouting, "Thank you," at Kota Ibushi, it's like, oh god. But that's like the ultimate fucking babyface. I don't know if anyone's seen that when Ibushi's walking past the commentators. Kevin Kelly stood up, clapping, shakes his hand like, "Thank you for beating him." I'm just like, oh god. So he's like the ultimate babyface commentator. So having a guy who has such a heel connection with everyone, like if you go on Twitter right now and type in El Phantasmo, you bet your fucking rent money that there's going to be some nasty comments saying how much of a piece of shit he is, which means A, he's doing his job really fucking well, and B, he can be a great commentator. So I'm not saying I want to see him not wrestle anymore. I'm just saying when he's not needed, when he's not involved in a feud, obviously he's one half of the IWGP Junior Tag Champs, but if he's not involved in a feud, get him on commentary with Keddy. Because I fucking loved it.
Get them some reps in, dude. If they don't have chemistry, like it's not all the way there yet, and they still did a pretty damn good job. Imagine when they get like really good chemistry, and they need more of a solid heel presence on that commentary tape. I know Gino Gambino was over there. Some shout out to Gino, but because world situations, he can't really be over there as consistently. And when it's not Gino Gambino, normally the 3-man commentary team, like we said, is Rocky, Chris Charlton and Kevin Kelly, and none of them people are portraying heels. I mean, Chris Charlton's not really there for the character aspect. He's there for the translation and like kind of the backstory and knowledge of everything. And Rocky's a straight up baby face with it, and Kevin's a straight up baby face. So it's just like you need that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not an advocate for a 3-man commentary team. I think, for example, if you watch WWE and you have the 3-man commentary of Raw, when you go to SmackDown and it's just Cole and Corey Graves, that is a complete different ball game. It just fits so much more natural. They can actually bounce off each other. But with the New Japan, because you got Charlton, he's not really involved in the conversation apart from when he's given really good, insightful knowledge of the history of New Japan as well as the translations, which is needed and I think is a great element to the announce table. So if you have Charlton, Kevin Kelly is the babyface, you have El Phantasmo, and imagine El Phantasmo ripping the shit out of all the knowledge that Chris Charlton is going to get, you're going to hate him even more. So when he's bashing on the wrestler in the ring, you're going to be like, oh, fuck this guy. It's going to make you root for him more. And then Kevin Kelly can get behind the babyface even more, and they can just really work off each other. I think they've touched gold here. I think they've generally touched gold.
I'll agree. I really agree. I think they might have something here with El Phantasmo on the commentary table. And like you said, getting Chris Charlton in that mix, I think you might have something a little bit more special right there. So that'd be cool, man. But yeah, this show, go out of your way to check it out. I definitely would highly recommend. This is definitely a win, like LK said. If I was going to say, if you're pressed for time, dude, if you're pressed for time, just skip the entrances, man, and just just watch the match themselves.
I don't know though. If you say you skip if they're rushed for time, say they've only got half an hour to an hour free, I recommend watching Kojima and Ospreay, that's 18 minutes. Skip the entrances, skip the post-match, trim it down to 15, watch 20 minutes, 25 minutes of Tanahashi, the final 20 minutes of Tanahashi and Shingo for the Never Belt, and you got yourself a fucking great 45 minutes to an hour. But generally, otherwise than that, check the show out. Yeah, skip the opener, nothing happens. It's not really important in the grand scheme of things. It's 8 minutes. You knew what you were getting before the bell even rung, which is no problem. It was fine. But then you had the LIJ 8-man, which is really solid and built up the feuds well. And that's the thing. Everyone's like, oh, the feuds aren't built. The feuds aren't built up. The feuds are built. Like that show and Hiromu has been built. I'm really fucking pumped for that. Yep. And do you know the card coming up for Monday's show? There's another Road 2 show.
In Korakuen Hall. I saw the main event because now they're going to switch over to the side of the heavyweight tag team title picture now. I know that since the junior heavyweight kind of has been decided for right now. Getting Gabriel Kidd versus Yota Tsuji, that should be all right. We got an 8-man tag. We got pretty much a variant of what we got today, actually. As far as the LIJ team, we got Master Wato Sho, Homai Ibushi going against Sonata, Naito, Hiromu Takahashi, and looks like Bushi. So yeah, it looks like we're getting that same 8-man match that we just got on this show. It is what it is. And it looks like there's only 4 matches on this show because the next match is Ishii, Yano, and Okada taking on Dick Togo, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil. I think that match should have been on this show, but that's neither here nor there, but whatever. Then we got the main event of the show's elimination match. We got Doki, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi going against Jado, El Phantasmo, Taiji Ishimori, Tanga Loa, and Tama Tonga in the main event of that show on Monday.
Okay, that sounds like a good one. And again, that's going to be 2 hours or under because I know there's a new law in Japan which means they can't run events after, I think it's 9 or 10. So the shows are having to go 2 hours or under. I remember reading that. So if it's like an afternoon show, it's not a problem. But when it's an evening, they kind of press for time. But having 4 matches on that show, that's going to be great. I'm game to watching that and then reviewing it that night if you're still if you're interested again.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm down.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be fucking straight away. We can review it late night, my time.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good show. I can't recommend. And my expectations heading in were like, it could be good, and I'm expecting it to be good. But I came away from it going, that was great. I can't wait for the when you leave a big show and you're like, I can't wait to the Road 2 shows. They did a fucking good show.
Yeah, man. And two, we forgot to mention that after Tanahashi gets the victory and Shingo puts the belt on his shoulder, which they actually acknowledge they're going to have another match at some point. So I'll be looking forward to that rematch. Tanahashi celebrating as he's usually doing to get a Tanahashi time counter going to seeing how long he's going to be out here. And then he's actually interrupted by the Great Okan because we actually thought that if Shingo won, he could potentially challenge Shingo. Great Okan was like, man, I don't give a fuck who wins. I'm challenging. Like whoever wins, I'm here. And he was there. So it looks like Tanahashi's immediate challenger for that belt will be the Great Okan. So
I hope it's better than the Wrestle Kingdom match. That's all I'm going to say.
It should be. I'm thinking it should be.
I guess there's a title on the line, isn't it? It's a bit more ramifications.
Yeah. Maybe we'll. I don't know if we'll get it as soon as Castle Attack. I guess we'll have to see. But now looks like we're off the races for that, man. So now this show was damn good. I'm excited for the Hiroshima shows we have coming up. Like you said, okay, super excited for those, man. And like I said, go out of your way to check the show out. Show's fucking banger. Yeah, man, I think we pretty much covered it though. Like we done talked about the show. The show's a damn good show. Go watch it. I'm gonna hopefully at some point they have the backstage comments because I'm looking forward to those. But yeah, in the meantime, between time, like LK said, we have the Korakuen Hall show on Monday that we will be reviewing. So be on the lookout for that one. Absolutely.
So go check out. I guess because you could be listening to this on 2 different platforms, isn't it? They could be listening to on my show and then on your channel. So if you're listening on mine, on the 25 Years Ago Wrestling podcast, this is an extra one for you guys. Make sure if you're listening on the YouTube version, subscribe. If you're listening on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, whatever fucking thing you use, hit the follow button to get notified and then automatically downloads for you to your